He's ready to go on the Fan, New York Sports Radio. Mike's on, Mike's on. He'll get you the sports any way that he can. It's Mike Francesa on the Fan. Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN.
From the studios of WFAN, this is Mike's on Francesa on the Fan on this Thursday, the 30th and final day of November, the last November day I will spend with you, as we now will begin December tomorrow, and with a countdown we'll hit single digits. Well, 10 tomorrow, and then next week single digits as we as we get the countdown into the later stages. We will have 2 weeks of shows left after tomorrow. We have 11 shows beginning today, and a lot to do. And today we're going to give away some tickets to the Paley Center for the first time, to the Museum of Broadcasting. We'll give away tickets in the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock hours. We did not have a lot of seats. It does not hold that many people. It holds less than 200, and they don't have a lot of seats available, but we're going to give them away the next couple of days. They held them to give them away on the Fan, so you have the best shot of getting them. And again, that's on, if you've never been to the Museum of Broadcasting, it is on 52nd Street. They now call it the Paley Center. It's formerly the Museum of TV and Radio, now known as the Paley Center, right next to CBS, right next to the legendary building that Mr. Paley built. So right there on 52nd Street in Midtown. So we'll give away tickets to that, and that program will be Thursday the 14th. That will be the last program with guests. There'll be some guests with us that day. There'll be a lot of guests on the phone that day. There's a lot of guests I won't even know about who are calling up that day, because anyone could call up and say, see you, or whatever they want to say. So we'll have a lot of people in and out for short periods that day. And then the next day, we'll be back in here. And that will be just myself and my crew, and no one else will be here. No one else will be around, and just you and me on the phones. And that's it for the entire show. No guests. And that's how we'll finish up the last show, with just myself and the callers. That will be the entire show on the 15th, and then that will be it. That will be the final show. So we're starting to get very close to that now. We're moving in on it. And anybody who needs anything from the standpoint of interviews or anything else, we can do all that available before and after the show on the 14th. We'll be doing nothing on the 15th except the show, and Mons was just saying it's going to be weird on the 15th. Well, yeah, it's going to be quiet, too, because no one's going to be in the studio except those two. That's it. Just Chris and Mons will be in there for the 15th, because everyone else, that'll be why we set it up the way we did on the 14th, in front of an audience, and with anyone from Fan or anyone who wants to be there, who can, who knows the people here, can get to the Paley Center on the 14th, or in the days preceding that. We got a couple of things. I'm going to do Good Morning Football on the 13th, because I owe them. I lost a bet to last week to Schrager, so I have to do that because the Bills won the game. So I have to do that. So I'm doing that on the 13th at 8 a.m. I'm going to do the show Good Morning Football that morning on the NFL Network. And a bunch of other things we have coming up in the next couple of days, which we'll tell you about, including Mulcahy's. Now, they've already sold a lot of tickets to that. We're talking about cutting it off at a certain number. We're about 130 from cutting it off. So I just wanted you to know that if you're interested, we did sell a lot of seats already. As of this morning, I talked to John Murray. We were about 100 and change from. We were trying to pick a date so that pick a number that it wasn't crazy there, where they could do everything comfortably they need to do and not have the place overflowing. So we're about 100 and change, I would say, from that right now. So if you want to wait to the 10th, you can. But if you want to make sure that you're in the building that morning, then you might as well call them up and purchase a ticket at Mulcahy's. Give them a call. You can do that. Tickets are $20. And then kids are, I think, half price. You got to ask him what he did with the kids. I don't remember. But I think it's half price. But we'll see everybody out there. And the show is now 9 to 11:30 because the Giant game was moved from 4 till 1 o'clock. So that means the Giant pregame starts at 1:30. So the Cowboys in town that day. So that'll be interesting from that standpoint. And again, we'll do the Football Sunday show from Mulcahy's on the 10th. And you can get tickets by calling Mulcahy's now. And they do have some, about 100. We're about 100 away from closing it down. Just wanted to let you know that. Now, Cowboys will be in action tonight. And Mink just gave a stat I had not heard before. And that is that the Cowboys, the last 3 games are in single digits for the first time in their history. That's unbelievable. You know, you don't think about it. You think about the proud offense under Tom Landry. You think about what they built from the days of Eddie LeBaron through Don Meredith, through Roger, through Greg Morton, through all the quarterbacks, Danny White, right through the modern day quarterbacks. But for the first time in their history, as they get ready to play the Redskins tonight, the loser's out. The winner can still harbor some wild card dreams, at least for another week. But that's tonight, Washington, and the Cowboys are going so bad that right now it shows you they are underdog at home to the Redskins, who are under 500. So that tells you everything you need to know about the Cowboys right now. We move closer to the weekend with the Giants. You know, we haven't talked at all about the Jets, and they're going to face Kansas City and Revis. That coming up on Sunday. And then the Giants in Oakland with Geno at quarterback. And what you really took from John Mara, and we tried to get John on, he just didn't want to do it. What we took from John's comments was he was clearly not happy with the way his head coach framed this. Now, didn't mean Eli was going to agree to do it. And clearly Eli was going to have to agree to play less than all the game for it to work. But he couched it, and he created the volcano by stating that this gave the Giants the best chance to win, and that this was what they wanted in terms of, this is the guy we need to have our game plan. This is the guy we need. We're going to put together a great game plan, go out and beat the Raiders. This is the guy who gives us a chance to win. That's what caused the enormous furor. If they had made a transition or tried to make a transition to the young quarterback and not to Geno, and done it in the right way, people wouldn't have been happy, but there wouldn't have been the outrage that there was, that Eli had been just completely embarrassed and kicked in the teeth. So you could tell by John Mara's statement that there are no guarantees in life. When asked if he would coach the last 5 games, McAdoo, there are no guarantees in life, told you he was very angry with his coach. I mean, it was obvious that's what you took from that statement, completely from that statement. So that bears some watching as we go forward here. Could there be I know a lot of people have brought up the idea to me, well, you know what, the Giants could just say, give us a mulligan, we're going to restart Eli. I don't see them doing that now. I do not see them doing that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that would make it look like they just absolutely, completely out of their minds and out of their depth, and they've become just a completely embarrassing rinky-dink organization. They no longer act like giants. They act like clowns. So they have proved that that's what they are this year, but you would hope it's just a momentary lapse for the Giants rather than a new condition. And that's why the guys there are not going to be there next year. This is going to be a complete house cleaning. Eli's going to be gone too, I think. They're going to draft a quarterback. I expect that. You know, they're going to lose a lot of these last 5 games, and I think they'll move on from that. The other story of the day is Tiger Woods. I'm watching him play right now in the Bahamas. The course is not very tough. I don't know the course. I'm sure we could get a call from somebody who does. It does not look like a very difficult course. Very, very flat, very easy puttable greens. Does not look like an exceedingly dramatic course in any way. The scores are going to be, you know, they're going to score very well here. But Tiger looked very good. He looks like he's in very good shape. He always does, but he really looks good. He doesn't look bulky or anything. And so far, he's looked very, very, very good. He made a big save on 4, holing about a 20-footer for par after hitting a bad wedge. So he looked good there. He's under par right now, but so is everybody else. But so far, so good for Tiger Woods. And there's an air of excitement about it because Tiger back on the course. Right now, he's -1. The leader is Ricky Fowler and Dustin Johnson at -3. There's about 10 players under 500. Under par right now. So that's where we are as they play in the Bahamas. We'll keep you up to date on Tiger Woods because that becomes an interesting story. A golf tournament that no one would pay 1 iota of attention to has become a big story today in sports. Why? Because of the presence of one Tiger Woods and Joe LaCava. Good to see Joe LaCava back. You know, Joe LaCava went to Tiger's bag. He left Freddie. He could have gone to Dustin Johnson. He didn't. He went to Freddie. He went to Tiger. Great, obviously, deal to go to Tiger Woods, but then Tiger went into, you know, semi-retirement. And Joe never went with anybody else, never picked up anybody's bag, stayed with Tiger the whole time, and now he's back too. So Joe LaCava has been a good friend to this show for many, many years, and I'm sure is very happy to be back carrying the bag and getting Tiger out on the course. So good for Joe too. My wife and I met Tiger with Joe one day in when we went to the Greenbrier for that 4th of July tournament there. And the Greenbrier is a great place to visit. Hard to get to, but a great place to visit in West Virginia. Beautiful, beautiful place. And great facility. Has everything. Anything. Great place to take the family. Really, if you can make the trek there, you would love it as a resort. It's a great resort. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful hotel, beautiful grounds, golf course. They have everything. They have great things for the kids, incredible swimming pools. Beautiful. Really, it's an amazingly beautiful resort. But Tiger was on the putting green, and we went over, and Joe saw us. He brought Tiger over. We chatted. He was very nice for about 5 minutes. So that was about 3-4 years ago. So it's been a while, but it's good to see Joey out there now with Tiger, and hopefully Tiger's got some life in him. He looks like he does. I'm watching Hideki Matsuyama now be 2 over, so not everybody's on the par, but Tiger Woods 1 under so far is the story of the day there. Knicks win last night, win without Porzingis, who winds up playing just a couple of minutes, but the Knicks ran away and hid against the Heat, who had lost to Cleveland the night before, so it was a back-to-back for the Heat, and they got drubbed last night, so a good win for the Knicks as they ran away and had a one-sided 30-point win without Porzingis, which is a very big positive. So we got a lot to get to today. As we said, the commissioner of the NHL will join us today, Gary Bettman, in studio as we continue with our very prominent guests, and Don Mattingly among our guests on the Football Friday. Next week, among our guests will be A-Rod, Jeter, Stern, Coughlin's coming. We got a lot more to do, so we have a who's who coming up the next couple of weeks as we finish up and head towards December 15th, which is now in our sights. Tomorrow becomes December, and we are in the final furlong, so to speak. As a matter of fact, we've passed the 16th pole, heading for the wire. Back after this.